Police in Sydney, Australia are still looking for a masked man who chained a fake bomb to a young woman's neck after breaking into her family's home yesterday. Nick Ralston has been following this story for the Sydney Morning Herald, and he joins us now. Nick, what do we know today that we didn't know yesterday?
Yeah, hi. Look, there has been a few, bizarre developments in the 24 hours that has been since 18-year-old Madeline Pulver was free from that suspect device, which, well, first off, we now know that it was not an explosive device, despite police's fears last night in Sydney. They did take 10 hours to remove it and were obviously very cautious, but at first sort of light this morning, police confirmed it did not have an explosive device attached to it. We've also learnt a little bit more about a note that was attached along with the device to the 18-year-old, and it was actually signed off by using the name of a fictional character from a 1966 novel by James Clavell, which is called Taipan, and it was signed off by a Dirk Struan. And Dirk Struan's character in this book is known to have used violence, extortion and skullduggery in attempts to destroy his business rival and become the supreme leader of Chinese trade during the 19th century. So it has been a rather bizarre day here in Sydney.
What do we know about the note and the demand was there a demand for money?
Yeah, look, there is nothing, no monetary value put inside that note. What we understand the note contained were strict instructions for the 18-year-old, what she could and couldn't do. We understand that she was told not to contact the police and not to try to disarm herself. But there was nothing in the note sort of demanding that her parents, who are wealthy and live in arguably Sydney's most exclusive suburb, to pay any sort of ransom.
So is the working assumption then that a ransom note or an extortion demand would have been sent subsequent to this to her father?
Look, police aren't saying. They've kept very quiet on who this man might have been. All that they're saying publicly is that it is a man who wore a balaclava, who entered her house, had a short conversation with her, somehow attached the bomb to her around her neck and left. But as far as what his actual motive might have been, well, they are publicly saying they're still yet to determine that. Whether or not privately they've got their own theories, we're still yet to know. Mm-hmm.
Madeline Pulver, is she okay?
Yeah, look, her parents came out today and said that she was in good spirits. She was taken to hospital, obviously following the 10-hour ordeal. It was checked over, but she said she should be doing quite well. She was a little bit stiff and sore. Apparently, the way that the bomb had been attached had left her in an awkward sort of position. So she was, a bit traumatized, obviously, today. But her friend said that she's a strong girl, and they're confident that, as horrifying as it's been, that she'll pull through.
Did she give police a pretty good description?
Look, she was being interviewed very late this evening. They let her go home after she checked out of hospital, have a sleep, and spend some time with family. But she was talking with them while she was detained yesterday, and she was recently, as a few hours ago, sitting down to talk to police tonight.
Now, you know, a lot of people are going to suspect, because this kind of thing has happened before, is that the teenager herself was somehow involved in this affair to squeeze some money out of her parents. Have police addressed that issue?
Yeah, look, that was raised today when the parents, it was put to the parents, who read a prepared statement and then sort of walked away and then left police to answer the questions. It was put that maybe in some way Madeline may have been involved in a hoax or some sort of extortion attempt on her family. But police were very adamant that Madeline was a victim, I think was the direct quote that came from the lead officer in charge in the investigation, and definitely was not giving any indication that she was anyway involved.
Nick Ralston is with the Sydney Morning Herald. Nice to speak to you again, Nick. Thank you.
Thank you.